guess it only sticks out probably 6 or so inches. Today I'm starting a project I'm really excited about. We're going to be putting this LS in this 4Runner. Some of our issues, this being a factory V6 motor, the power steering lines here run over to this pump housing, and this is what controls the rear ABS part. I haven't figured out exactly what to do there yet. We may have to put in like a adjustable proportioning valve. We would like to keep the air conditioning, but depending on what our radiator clearance is, I will be putting a electric fan in this. Once we are able to get this motor set in there, we'll have to cut this front end off because let's see if we can get down here. Because we sit right on top of that front pumpkin there for the third member. So there will be room. I hope I don't have to do anything with this transmission tunnel. We're really hoping to not have to do a body lift. Everything I've read so far is people have gotten away with a 1.5 or a 2-inch body lift, but we're hoping no body lift. That's why I know it don't fit. I've already done this mock-up. That's why it took longer to get parts. We had to get, well, I'll show you. Straight axle front. We're gonna have to rebuild it. It's completely froze. And then another rear end. That's why I figure if it's easier to go with leafs, then we will. But this one here, nothing. So rear end don't move at all. So these might have to get rebuilt. It did come with a straight axle hanger here, but they did a pretty poor job trying to torch it off. So I may just use the hanger part, put a new tube in. And then we got rear springs also. So that'll be a fun build. But like I said, I'm just gonna get the engine tore down for now, take the front off it, take the intake off it, get this jacked way up in the air as far as we can, put stands under it, and we're gonna cut the entire front end and then do some reinforcements on it. And then we'll start fitting the motor after all that's gone, because I don't want to put the front end on it and notice we have more issues. I want to make sure we can get the motor down, tranny bolted up before we really start getting into it. That way if there's a body lift will actually help me with the fabrication because of the runners. So we have, let's see, the original tranny and transfer case. I think this came out of, I don't even know what year, Chevy Tahoe. I've already pulled the original 3.0 out of this. It used to have an automatic transmission. I already know that this front end is going to be cut out. We have the standalone harness. It's already been programmed with a run tune. I don't even know what's all in here. There's headers in here. There's motor mounts. We'll have to go through all the boxes as I get there. Today I'm just going to get this motor cleaned up. I'm going to pull the front of the motor apart. I'm going to pull the intake off. I want to get the motor as clean as I can. I just don't like working with dirty. You can see I already cleaned the engine bay. Really, it was cleaner, but this has been sitting for a couple weeks waiting for some more parts to get here. So I'm going to get all this pulled. I'm going to put a new cam in it. I'll get set up and get right into it. So update, I got some parts to order. Timing chain has quite a bit of play in it. You can see the movement up here. So I'm gonna order the timing set. I don't have any of the gaskets for this motor. I want to pull the oil pan off, and I want to make sure the bottom end of this motor is good before I really start doing some work to it. So today I'm not going to work on the motor no more. I'm just going to start getting this 4Runner jacked up, and we're going to get that front end cut off so we have a clean slate to work from. I know I'm going to have to order parts for that also. I don't have the rest of the hangers. I'll make the shackles, and some of the steering components need to be rebuilt. So we're just going to spend the rest of this time getting the 4Runner jacked up and start getting the front end tore off. Let's see. Looks stable. I'm gonna get the tires off, bumper off. I'm probably gonna go ahead and remove the grill, headlights, and I think I'm gonna unbolt as much as possible for the front end, just in case they want to resell it, or I don't know. Parts aren't mine, so I'm gonna try and take the best care of the stuff, and then I'll get the plasma cutter out and start cutting everything off I can, and then grind it all smooth, and we'll plate the front end and start lining up the front end. That'll be our number one thing. Get the ride height. It might set about that high. I don't think I'm gonna get it out of the garage with the bigger tires on it, but we do have this small set. So I'm gonna get to pulling and we'll get back. So already just taking tires off. I'm glad we're not using this front end. So but this steering piece, if I could do both, you could see that there's a ton of play in it. So this whole front end would have had to be rebuilt anyways, and these IFS get really expensive really quick. Alright, so I got all the front end stuff removed except for the third member housing there. I still don't understand this ABS part. I looked on the other two Toyotas I have out back. They are set up similar without this. This power steering line goes to that also, which this is going to all have to be deleted. We can't use that in this conversion, so I may end up buying the 95 Toyota pickup rear proportioning valve and replacing the one that's on this already, because it looks similar. Maybe it's adjusted different. But so I'm gonna have to remove this and that third member, and then I can start getting the frame cleaned up. I think I'm gonna end up calling this video for the night. I have a bunch of parts to go order. Alright, I'm back at it. This is another day. Last night I ordered gaskets for the motor so I can get it wrapped up. I did end up removing the ABS brake stuff and got the front third member out. I'm going to go ahead and spend some time. We're going to clean up the mess. I'm going to get all those parts put somewhere in a pile. Try and get more room in here to work. I'm going to focus on getting the engine cleaned up now finally. Getting all these other parts that I have laid everywhere. I need to get all this cleaned up before I do too much. So I'm gonna spend some time doing that, and then when I come back in, I'll start cutting all the old brackets and hangers and mounts and getting the frame cleaned up so I can start getting motor mount fabbed up for this conversion. So, all right, I'm been cleaning up some parts. I'm gonna jump in here with the grinder, get some earplugs in. I'm going to turn the radio up and we're going to start cutting parts out of this. Well, that was a lot of cutting. I know I have a little bit more to do, but I'm just gonna turn the camera off and just get to it. I need to grind all that stuff down. There's a few more little brackets I need to take off. I'm gonna go shut my generator off and take a break, and when I come back, all that'll be prepped and ready to, hopefully ready to work on the motor by then. So, hope you enjoyed this video. What do you guys think? If you guys have any suggestions, let me know.